Hey guys, what's up? My name is Marco. I'm a former professional opera singer turned YouTuber, and I love video game music from an emotional perspective and analyzing it and talking about it. I'm also a huge fan of video games in general, and I just finished up Hollow Knight not too long ago, and before I dive into Silksong, I wanted to take a look at some of the earlier tracks, namely track number 1, Enter Pharloom, and then the other tracks on separate videos. So let's dive in here. I really like thinking about music before I play it because it allows me to paint a mental picture in my brain before then actually seeing it in context. So let's do it. Oh, so this is naturally a build-up. So we start from nothing. So one of the amazing things about Hollow Knight in general, especially when you look at things like the Mantis Lords, and we've heard Lace before, obviously, because it's been around for a couple years now, is how prominent the classical Baroque sound style is. And one of the most amazing things about this particular track is the string undulation and the string momentum. The string momentum gets us into an immediate feeling of being choked, an immediate feeling of being thrust into the action. And there's this natural build-up, 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 build-up as we start to unravel, Lace, as we start to unravel the ins and outs of what the hell is happening to this place as we take our first steps into a new world, right? Then also right here where I stopped, we start getting an emphasis. We start to get, I believe a little bit of brass, and that doubles down on this idea of really moving through adversity and starting to turn the page on something new as we uncover the truth, right? Oh, that's good. So this is really dope. So the melody and the melody line of this actually comes in from what feels like the middle of the piece. We have the violins up top, and we have the lower brass, and we have the trumpets kind of in the middle, and then out of nowhere, this rich, full orchestra kind of comes through in the middle of the piece. And I feel like that's like if all of us is a human being and all of us have a soul, that it almost feels like it's the soul itself calling out from within the body for a purpose, right? For an opportunity to become something, for an opportunity to grow, for an opportunity to discover one's purpose in it all, you know? Right? And it comes through in that middle, and it's much richer and much denser because we have a full orchestra kind of pulling in there, even though the upper part, it's like sandwiched in between, which is really interesting. See, and that's really interesting because that's descending. And this is really about gumption. This is really like, how can I do this? I have got to double down. I've got to commit to this. I've got to focus. There's an energy in it. It's exclamatory. It's shouted internally, but it's like the conscious mind saying, this is it. This is the chance we have to take. We have got to drive forward. We have got to move through this. We have got to believe in ourselves. Right? And it's very, very, very pointed. Because too, then you also get the da-da-da-da-da-da in the trumpets, that emphasis there, that hit, right? It's all part of it. Just glorious stuff. It's very hard on the sleeve, very emotional, but it's very, very, very complex. This is a very nice piece of music, very classically coded, very, very, very committed to oneself too emotionally, right? It's lovely. So the sopranos to me represent Silksong. They represent Hornet. The undulating harp, the spinning in a circle. Again, the theme here, the thematic sound of Enter Pharloom is about cutting ties. It's about emerging from the cocoon of the self to essentially unravel the mistakes of the past. The sound really undulates like this, and the chorus is right there in the center saying, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I move through this. You know, it's very, very, very impactful. Shut-a-dum-dum, shaka-dum-dum, shut-a-dum-dum. Okay. And see, that's the shadow of what remains. That's the sound of what comes before. It's interesting. I will say, just because I promise to always be honest, the very little tail end there feels a little bit plotty, The unison movement is not bad at all. In fact, it's quite nice. But I do wish that it kind of just pushed a little bit more in a little bit of a different direction. That said, nothing wrong with that right here. Dum-dum. I think it's just the bells there. For me, da 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 da. I'm not crazy about that. It's not to say it's bad, obviously, but everything else, the build up to that, and really that as well as a part of a complete package. That's just my own personal taste. But in terms of the complete package, this really is about. I think the bells. Bells are interesting because bells really herald something new. Bells herald a beginning. Bells herald, new ideas. For whom the bell tolls. There's almost a funeral thing. It's interesting. You don't often hear it. Maybe that's actually why I'm like a little bit turned off by it, just because I'm not used to hearing bells in unison with a choir. I will say it sounds to me like the production quality here is considerably higher than what we got in Hollow Knight, which this I don't even know if. I don't think any of this is synthetic. I think all of it was synthetic. You know what I mean? I think this is all real players? ? The bells sounded real. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But then too, you get such a nice ba piata rum bum bum ba 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 bum bum bum. It's cool. I really dig that. What a great piece. I really, really like that. That's the beginning of something exciting. There's a lot more analysis to come on the channel, of course. I'm really excited about this. I played Hollow Knight in 2018. It was fine. Played it again a couple weeks ago, literally last week, depending on when you're watching this. Loved it. Had a great time with it. Was kind of good at it too, actually. 91%. I was very pleased. I really had a great time. So I'm listening to some of these tracks before diving into Silksong, just because I like to hear things out of context and then put them in context. So very cool stuff. Thanks a ton, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.